This is Real Estate Radio. The Erik Hatch team is highly motivated, innovative, and knowledgeable for all things real estate. This is Real Estate Radio.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, real estate fans, and all wonderful people alike. Thanks so very much for tuning into Real Estate Radio this morning. I'm your host, Erik Hatch of Hatch Realty. You can find us at 1205 16th Avenue South in Fargo. We are just down the street from Dwayne's House of Pizza. So if you're stopping by for a delicious large for the price of a small on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you can grab your pizza, then stop by and buy a house too. Who doesn't love pizza and houses? It's a perfect combination. Or, of course, if you're over at Bernie's Liquors, you can sneak over to us as well. We're located just off of University Drive. And I want to share with you, I just got back from Austin, Texas. Austin, one of my favorite towns in the world. It's eccentric and eclectic and other E words that I probably can't spell. It is a fabulous city, and I was down there for a real estate convention, learned a whole lot that I always can bring back and implement with our business and, of course, share with you, the listening audience. One of the biggest ahas that I had was that I found out that the world's wealth is tied up in real estate to the tune of about 75%. Of all the wealth that people have in this world, 75% of it, 3/4, is tied into real estate. So if you're somebody out there who is renting, you are not in that statistic. You're in that 25%. If you're somebody out there who maybe has decided to I don't know. If you've gotten rid of your property for downsizing purposes or whatever else, I think you're missing out on a pretty great opportunity. Because what we're finding out is that interest rates right now are still low, and that's a surprise for people. I heard this quote is that buyers are living on borrowed time right now. If they're dealing with real estate, realistically, we expected at this point interest rates to be at 5 or 5.5%. Which completely changes the scope of buying for some people. And so we're hearing that buyers are living on borrowed time. So if your opportunity is there to jump on board and, in fact, invest in real estate, there's no time like the present. If you wait, if you sleep on it, if you decide, well, maybe I'm just going to wait until spring, I think spring's going to show us higher interest rates. I think houses are still going to be affordable, but when an interest rate increases from, say, 4% to 5%, you lose 10% of your buying power. So say you're wanting to buy a $200,000 house, that will feel like a $220,000 house in the spring simply based upon the payment if interest rates go from 4 to 5%. So the time is now, the situation is ripe, and we should have a conversation about that. 369-4839, or you can always contact me through livefargomoorhead.com. But first things first, let's find out what's happening with real estate news this week.
Hold on to your hat. The most expensive residential listing in the United States is now in Fort Lauderdale and is a lavish 60,500 square foot estate in the final stages of construction for a mind-boggling $135 million price tag. The house is being called Le Palais Royal and is inspired by Versailles and other European palaces. Designed by Miami-based architect Danio Madeira, the home's list of superlative features is long and headache and/or envy-inducing. 11 bedrooms, 17 bathrooms, a $2 million marble staircase, 22-carat gold-leafed gate, subterranean garage for 30 cars, 18-seat IMAX home theater with a 50-foot wide screen, 4,500 square foot infinity pool, another pool in the presidential suite, kennels for guard dogs, and is on a plot of land that stretches from the ocean to Intercoastal Waterway. And that's what's making real estate news this week. You're listening to Erik Hatch with Real Estate Radio.
Breaking in, shaping up. In studio with us is my good friend. He's handsome. He's debonair. He's a heck of a great guy, Mr. Nick Coloran of Great North Insurance Services. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Erik. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Nick, I'm always bummed out when your wife doesn't show up with you. She is prettier. She smells better. I enjoy her company more than yours, but I'm still glad you're here.
That's funny. Did you take that line from me about Emily?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. We definitely outkicked our coverage on those.
We did. Shows we're good salesmen.
Yes.
So, Nick, I want to talk about the uh-ohs, the things that we need to be concerned about, because I'll be honest. Insurance is like a turnoff for me, and I think it is for a lot of people, because people will say begrudgingly, "Oh, I have to have insurance." If you own a car, you're required by law to carry insurance. If you have a mortgage, you're required to have insurance. And so those are things that people begrudgingly pay. Health insurance, I mean, all these things. But what's the benefit? Why should people be drawn to it? And how is it going to protect 3/4 of our wealth, as we talked about at the top of the hour here with real estate?
Well, the big thing about insurance is that you're basically buying a policy that is transferring risk from yourself to another company. And really, when you're talking about buying houses, I mean, it's an investment. I hear people talk all the time about, this house is an investment. It's going to, again, accrue additional equity. It's something that people use for retirement down the road, all the way from reverse mortgages to the sale of the property and having money, in the form of liquidity down the road after they sell. So buying that policy protects that number one asset. It's very, very important, because I don't know a lot of people that have a couple $100,000 in their bank. If something were to go wrong, like a fire, to rebuild that home, pay off the mortgage. It's a good transfer of risk for, in all honesty, for if you're talking about a $300,000 home, we can insure that home for $1,000. It's a very easy, and when you think about it, a cheap policy to get.
Mm-hmm. And Nick, I say it a little tongue in cheek when I gripe about insurance, because everybody gripes about insurance until they need it.
Yep.
And then it's an elation. It's an excitement once they actually do have it. I for example, I have a friend who's in the ICU right now, and fortunately for him, he's a part of a company that's provided him health insurance. And so he's been in the ICU now for 30 days, and the bills that add up and the big uh-ohs that happen, that's what happens with life. But with houses, it's more dealing with fires and floods and the dreaded F words like that. What should people be cautious about with those things?
Well, when you're buying, your number one asset, probably your biggest purchase that you're going to make in your lifetime, you want to get a quality policy that isn't just all about the all about the dollars and cents. And that's why I say come to our agency, because we're going to make sure that we're going to walk through each risk. We're going to tailor a policy to your needs. We're going to make sure that your number one asset is covered. And again, when you look at it, the difference between a really quality policy and a pretty shabby policy would be maybe $150 to $200 a year. And if you break that down, it's not worth the risk.
And again, in studio with us talking insurance, Mr. Nick Kaloran of Great North Insurance Services. Nick, I want to shift gears just a little bit and talk about flood insurance, because it's a scary thing in this community. It's not going away anytime soon. This diversion is happening as fast as my diet is. It's something we keep talking about, and it doesn't ever seem to happen. And so what should people be concerned about with flood insurance, and how can they seek out answers?
That's a really tough question, because right now the problem is the uncertainty. And there's could be so much change down the road. The best place to go for some answers is to our website, because you can link up to the Fargo website and figure out whether you're in a current flood zone right now. The new maps are on there. The tentative plan it's on our website.
Is it January 16th, 2015? Is that the date?
Yes, that is correct. As of right now. Now and again, that date has changed a few times. This is as close as we've been, and I think as confident as I've ever heard people talk about that date actually come to fruition. So it's that's an important deadline. The key being behind flood insurance is that there is that 30-day wait. So your deadline isn't necessarily January 16th. It's actually either December 16th or December 17th that provides a full 30 days so you can get that policy in play, because if you're going to move to a high-risk flood zone, you need to get that policy in play so that way you get that 2-year window of those lower premiums.
And so you're grandfathered in, essentially, is what you're saying. If you buy before December 17th, you'll be grandfathered in.
At this point, yes, that's what they're telling us, is that they're going to give us that grandfathered in period.
If somebody doesn't get grandfathered in, and if they currently live in a house or are buying a house that's in the high-risk floodplain, it's going to affect their payment how much each month?
Well, and again, that there's a lot of factors there. We have values that factor into the elevation of their property. There's a lot of different factors, but I mean, it's not odd to see $200 a month, $300 a month. I did quote one on a $250,000 policy that I saw a premium of $500 a month.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts. Nick, the greatest thing somebody can do to protect their investment, to learn about the flood, and to make sure that life is going to be okay when the big uh-ohs happen, is to talk with an insurance agent. And I trust nobody more than I trust you. So how can somebody get in touch with you at Great North Insurance Services?
Well, call us direct. Call us at 701-239-4647, or you can email me at nick@gnins.com.
GNINS, GreatNorthInsurance.com. Nick Kaloran, great to have you in studio with us. If anybody wants to reach out to Nick, if they don't remember all those details, I'll be happy to pass that along for you at 369-4839 or livefargomorehead.com.
Stick around. More Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch after this.
Don't survive. I was born free. I was
This is Real Estate Radio. The Erik Hatch team is highly motivated, innovative, and knowledgeable for all things real estate. This is Real Estate Radio.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio. As always, I'm your host, Erik Hatch, and it's time now for the Erik Hatch team's picks of the week here on Real Estate Radio. Each week, my team and I talk about these screaming deals that we have to tell you about so you don't miss out on a grand opportunity. And I have 3 houses to highlight today. We're going north, we're going south, and we're going west. Let's start up north. I talked about this house last week, and I'm blown away that it hasn't sold yet. At 3244 Longfellow Road in North Fargo. Boy, that is a highly sought-after neighborhood in the North Fargo corridor. And guess what? It's still North Fargo's pretty stinking high and dry. Seems to be away from flooding as far as I can tell. And so at 3244 Longfellow Road, you get a gorgeous Rambler with a brand new updated kitchen, as well as 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 garage stalls for $250,000. Don't miss out on this deal. In addition, if we go south, I want to share with you out in Woodhaven a brand new listing, 4932 43rd Street South. Again, 4932 43rd Street South. This is for $350,000, a newer Rambler with 4 garage stalls, 3 attached and 1 behind. Who doesn't love Woodhaven? This is a fabulous development, and this Rambler with almost 1,800 square feet on each level gives you over 3,500 square feet of finished living space. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 4 garage stalls, and beautiful, absolutely stunning open floor plan. Finally, if we head to West Fargo, I'm going to talk out in the Westport Beach area, 1209 46th Avenue West in West Fargo. For $270,000, we get a giant split-level home. This bi-level boasts 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3 garage stalls, but the greatest thing about this is the backyard. Not only is the backyard wonderfully, meticulously cared for, but there's no neighbors back behind you. Privacy and high and dry in West Fargo is hard to beat. These 3 houses, along with over 60 other listings we have in the entire MLS, there's even more than that. You can check out all these homes at livefargomorehead.com, or for your own personal home to be featured on Real Estate Radio, give us a call at 369-4839. Slap me silly, because I am excited about what's coming up. That's right. If you didn't catch it on Friday, you can catch it every Friday, Friday nights, in fact, on ABC. We have our own television commercial now. And that's exciting for me, not because it's just a television commercial, but because Hatch Realty and myself, Erik Hatch, are being endorsed by Barbara Corcoran. I think the number 2 real estate mogul and figure in the entire United States is endorsing Hatch Realty. I got a chance to meet Barbara, and she decided to line up with some of the top agents from around the country. And in that moment, in that opportunity, we talked to her about an endorsement opportunity. So by some business moves and some strategery, we were able to get Barbara lined up, and she's now endorsing Hatch Realty. How stinking exciting is that? So during Shark Tank, it's on Friday nights on ABC, and I'm not promoting a TV show, but it's wonderful. Get a chance and an opportunity to watch it. It's about entrepreneurship and people who are taking a risk and trying to get sponsorship from sharks, people who are business investors. And there, what the opportunity is of course to pitch a product and to get the shark to take it. Well, Barbara, being a real estate gal, we pitched her the idea of endorsing us, and she said yes. And so during Shark Tank, every Friday, you'll be able to see a commercial playing for Hatch Realty and for Erik Hatch with Barbara Corcoran herself speaking of how we should be the agent to choose in this market. Now, that is an exciting opportunity because I stand behind Barbara, and she, of course, has built a multi-million, almost $1 billion industry simply through real estate. That's hard to do in Fargo. In New York, it has a few more possibilities. But I share with you that this empire idea is so exciting to have her as a part of what we're doing and to be a part of her empire. So get a chance, tune in Fridays, 7 p.m. is Shark Tank on ABC. Now, in addition, it doesn't change a single way in which we're doing business here. I have 20 people in my business who stand behind each and every one of our clients to make sure that we give you a complete and total full service operation. Nick talked about it in an earlier segment. We talked about 3/4 of the world's wealth is tied to real estate, and we don't take that lightly at Hatch Realty. We treat this as though it's the biggest thing going on in your life, because it is. So let's get in conversation. 369-4839 or head to livefargomorehead.com and give us an opportunity to interview for your business. My main man in the studio, Dan Gunderson, is telling me we are almost out of time, so I want to close with a couple of final thoughts. The first is this: if you're curious what your home is worth, we keep talking about the idea of buying or selling, and if you currently own, if you're like me, you want to know what your home is worth, the best way to find out is to go to livefargomorehead.com. You get a free, hassle-free home evaluation where we can give you a rough idea of what your place is worth. If we want to get more specific, of course, you or I can reach out and we'll work on those details. But it's an exciting opportunity to find out what your home is worth in today's market. In addition, if you go to livefargomorehead.com, spend a little time there and you can learn about the Hatches Heroes program. You know, we're offering discounts to our clients who are do-gooders in this world, people who work for the military, whether you're active or a veteran, if you're a firefighter, a police officer, if you are a teacher or an educator, if you work in the healthcare industry or for a nonprofit. We can save you up to $1,000 on each of your real estate transactions, whether you're buying or selling. So it's a grand opportunity for you. Don't miss out on it. And I believe we're the only agents in town who are offering it. There may be some other folks, but I haven't heard of it. So we would love to be that one to help save you some serious cash. Finally, it's an exciting time to be in real estate. The market is still hot and your opportunity exists. Don't miss out on it because these interest rates are going to creep up and it's going to slow things down a bit. So the time is now. It is ripe. It is ready. And let's have a conversation one final time. 369-4839 or head to livefargomorehead.com. And that's it. Thanks so very much for listening to Real Estate Radio this morning. I've been your host, Erik Hatch of Hatch Realty, and you've been listening to the Mighty 790 KFGO.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place yours.